Hey, I'm Ryan Farrell. Today my educational TED Talk is going to be about something basically based off personal experiences. It was inspired by going over the Georgia Code of Ethics here recently. We've been going over it about a week now, and until today, I had an idea of what I was going to do, but this discussion we had today, basically going over the Code of Ethics and a bunch of what-ifs, really sparked my interest for one, and second off, really gave me the idea of what I was going to do. And basically what I want to talk about today is, to start off with, is my experiences first before I get into my idea. My experiences, I've played baseball for quite a while. I played from the time I was 4 to the age of 19. Going on baseball, you go on a lot of trips. You have a coach that is also an educator. He takes you on all these trips. We went trips, as far as Sarasota, Atlanta, and it's places that are, quite a ways away, and at times you tend to wonder how a lot of coaches don't get in more situations than they do. Now, educators, on the other hand, do get more situations. I can remember only one time where I took a field trip that was overnight. I went to the Atlanta Zoo, and our whole 4th grade class went, among the rest of the 4th grade classes, including our school. And we had plenty of chaperones there. However, at nighttime, you're basically left alone. And it happens a lot more nowadays where educators or coaches are accused of doing wrong. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I feel like a lot of people get framed for stuff they're not doing just basically based on how something looks. Which is the fault of the educator for putting themselves in that situation. But when you get in that situation, there's really nowhere for an educator to go because they have to mark every single step that they took on that trip in order to mark back everything, to basically give a solid alibi. Without a solid alibi, educator really is at a disadvantage because they basically take what the kid says and puts it truth. Not only that, the kid has a parent who is also fighting this because they're taking what their kid said, regardless of what they thought of your person before their kid, and regardless if they know their kid and if it's a bad kid, has a history, or know their kid's a liar. I mean, I feel like as parents, I feel like parents these days take what their kid says and just use it against people in order, sometimes maybe to increase their chances of getting financial aid of some sort from someone, screwing someone out of a job, suing them, taking matters legally, and just basically not even taking into consideration that their kid may be a liar, or their kid may be at fault for once. Enough parents don't, discipline their kids like they should, I feel like, so therefore, children are more apt to act out, more apt to make a lie, a false accusation for that matter. So here's an idea that I've kind of came up with that I believe would help a teacher, an educator, period, principal, assistant principal, whoever the chaperone may be, a coach, on these trips to where they can have a solid alibi, and really a student has no grounds to make an accusation against somebody, and it kind of puts it at fair play for the educator. My idea is that why not hire a person at these school systems in a higher position, just give them simply the position so that kids can experience field trips more. These days you don't see field trips experienced by kids anymore because of the fact that you can't get either chaperones to volunteer, low money in the budget, amongst other things. But kids need field trips. Kids these days need to learn based on visuals, especially younger children. And you don't see these field trips taken anymore. So therefore, why not get a person to chaperone the teacher? By chaperoning the teacher or the coach, you give the coach and the teacher a backing. Now granted, it may seem to the coaches and teachers, granted they're an adult, it may seem to them that they're getting babysat. But in order to save their job, I don't think anybody would ever mind anything like that. When you get to a situation where someone is accused, wouldn't it be nice to have someone right there behind you that said, I know where he was at this time, at any given moment of time, what he was doing, where he was at, basically had an eye on them at every given moment. It's a job that I feel like would take a lot of patience for the person at a higher rank that's actually babysitting the teacher, basically. However, anybody that wants the job, they know what they're signing up for in the beginning. So, with that being said, you go on a field trip, for example, and kid makes false accusation. You get back, kid, you get back and you're getting in trouble by your administrator, your school board, legally, whatever it may be. Then you can call upon the person that you know babysat you the whole time. Let's just say, name's Bob. And Bob's right there by you to say, listen, I know he was right here between this time. Therefore, it gets your solid alibi for the teacher. Rather than having to recite everything you did that day. Because I think, as a person that's been in that position, you know that it's pretty overwhelming to be taking care of, let's just say 4 classes are on this field trip, you're the only chaperone. You're stressing, for the most part, the whole time, because you're having to take care of someone else's child. Amongst all that, how are you going to mark back everything that went on after you were stressing the whole time and somebody makes a false accusation against you? So I just think that this idea would be very good for any educator, for that matter, or any coach to have that backing of someone that will be able to just, help them have a solid alibi. It's just something that I think needs to happen, and something that I think we should implement in all schools, all county schools, private schools, charter schools, any school for that matter, magnet schools. It's something that really needs to happen. And I think it's something that everybody should think about. And if the money's in the budget, to definitely pay somebody to do this. Whether it be a police officer to be the chaperone, or whether it be a not necessarily a police officer, but anybody in a higher position that can vouch and is not under the Georgia Code of Ethics. Because anyone under the Georgia Code of Ethics has to worry about something. I think it would be good in this position to have just a superintendent of the chaperone on the trip of any sort, whether it be a coach, educator, or anybody in a educational position at any school. Thank you.